the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time! Fighting out of New York City, he is the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the one, the only, the infamous Andrew
Yo, what's happening, family? What's popping? What's cracking? Yo, real quick, y'all already know the drill. Y'all know the protocol. If y'all can hear me and if y'all can see my also pretty face, I need y'all to go ahead and flood the chat with some 111s so we can go ahead and get this call started. Because, yo, I'm excited for tonight and they flooded in. I'm excited. Let's get it. So, family, real quick, for those of y'all who do not know me, my name is Cesar Rivera, aka Caesar God, as the backdrop used to say. But now y'all already know we want to go ahead, not just me, but the Super Mario bro. If he's Mario, I'm Luigi. If this is basketball, he's MJ and I'm Pippen, right? I wanted to go ahead and collab with one of the best dudes that I know in this trading space to create a trading community, which you guys have also been dedicated a part of for the last week. And what Money Heist is literally just an embodiment of you guys tuning in, tapping in every single week so we can do calls like this to just pour in every single one of y'all. So yo, my bro, my guy, the man who literally is raising the bar every single week in the back end. Yo, Kevo, bro, if you excited for tonight, let's go and let's get it.
Yeah, what's good, familia? Yo, guys, who's ready for Money Heist tonight? We got a very, very, very special guest, man. I'm super excited. Let's go, man. Blow up the chat, man. I want to see this chat go crazy before we bring on this guest.
Bro, I'm excited. You want to do the honors? You want me to do the honors?
Damn, bro. You got the, bro. You bring the energy. I want you to do that.
Man, I got you. I'm familiar. Yo, if y'all ready to be tapped in with a GOAT, a man who loves to play golf on MetaTrader. It's truly inspirational because, you know, we have the greats of golf. We have the Arnold Palmers. We have the Tiger Woods. And then comes next in the great golf lineage of just swinging to scalping is this man right here. His abbreviation is very well may be Junior, but I promise you his lineage for the Junior is not just his family, is not just in golf, but also Powell Jr. as well. I want y'all to really put it up for the boy who is a globetrotter, not just on the markets, but also in real life as well. The man who has literally brought Wall Street to history, who has been a servant leader, not just in his entire trading career, but more so than not within these last months, just pouring into so many people, not in Zoom, not just in person, but anywhere he can happily get his fingers, his voice, or his presence across. So familia, if you're ready for the GOAT, the icon, the next just all around trading guru that there is in this space, for our brother, my guy, the golfer himself, yo, Junior, what's happening, bro?
Yo, what's going on? Yo, I couldn't help but smile the whole time, bro. Like, yo, Kevin was right. You brought the energy, bro. You brought the energy. I'm gonna give you that and some more, bro. Like, you even started off the call with the screen share and everything. Yo, that's lit. I've never even actually seen that. You know, I was like, oh shit, this is different. You know, because like I'm gonna say this. Like, I already ran probably like 20 calls over the past 24 hours, and this is the best one already.
Yeah, you already know, baby boy.
Oh, let's go.
And give the best for the best. Feel me? So, Junior, real quick, bro, you already know it's an honor, it's a privilege to have you on one of these type of calls where we just, you know, look to really just be shoulder to shoulder with everybody in the chat, you know, give the kind of sauce that we wish we knew in the beginning, right? Help those in the intermediate, and then really help it just excel those in the expert level, right? Somewhere like around us. Really, y'all. I like to stay in student mode 24/7. So, real quick, bro, you know, we got some familiar faces on the chat. We got some unfamiliar faces. And, you know, I really want them to get to know you. So if you don't mind, bro, do you mind just talking about your beginnings? You know, what is it that made you who you are? And then what brought you just into the trading space itself?
Yeah, bro. Pleasure, bro. I mean, I started in the trading industry in 2018. So whenever I started, I actually started at 18 years young. So I'm 23 right now, but I started at 18. And whenever I literally, when I started, I started off with stocks. I'm not sure if anybody in here, type of one, if you started off with stocks, like if you started with stocks before Forex and stuff like that, like that was me. But I didn't know what I was doing. I was just buying and selling shit. I was working construction, because I'm Mexican, so that's all I knew. Um, so yeah, like I was making my bread from construction. I was just investing because I knew the long-term play of things. Um I knew I wasn't gonna get to my overall destination in life just working for somebody else. So I needed to do something on the side, and I knew investing was a big thing. Um but the thing is that it took me over a whole year to honestly drop my ego and allow myself to be mentored by somebody else, because I was like, and I'm pretty sure we've all been there. We've all been in the situation where like we got it, we have some wins and we're like, yeah, we dominate this market. We make these pips go up, and then the market humbles you, so market humbled me a year later, and I was like, you know what, let me get into actually purchasing somebody's mentorship. And before I actually came into the platform I actually paid somebody, like I went backwards. So I started off paying somebody at 19 almost $3,000 to mentor me like on a one-on-one basis. Learned retail trading, like kind of like just support resistance right there. And then was still working, then came into IM because me and my homeboy, we're both saving up $10,000, just to put it in perspective. We're saving up both $10,000 to go to this in-person workshop, which we now do literally like across the nation, like with what's it called, with Mike, and Nancy, and we make that affordable. And we are saving up 10K to go there, and then he got put into IM, and I saw the vision right away, and I was like, yo, like more people do definitely got to get put onto this. And it took me a year past that to really get in tune with the GOATs, with Jordan, with Zach and everything. And I think whenever I encountered smart money, like in 2020, prior to COVID, it was almost like encountering, I mean, we've been there, Kev, CJ, I think we can all relate. It's like the holy grail. You're like, oh shit, like you just encountered gold. And yeah, that was me. And I didn't really have much personal mentorship at that point in the career. So I just kind of made it work. I went through the bounce back sniper bootcamp 8 times in a span of less than like 4 months, bro. And just got it, bro. I was literally just locked in. I like back was pressed against the wall. I had gotten fired from my job. I was down to my last like $2,000 to my name, and made that work. Compounded that once I started listening to Zach and really dropped my ego and really was a student at that point. And yeah, over time, results grew. And along the process, I actually met Kevin. I think Kevin, I met you in 2021.
Yes,
2021.
Yeah, it was like 2021, Arizona.
Yeah. So that was like half point through my career. That was like really like yeah, he flexing this shirt. Caesar. Yeah, that's that and that point in my career, that was like my first breakthrough in my career, where I was like, I had just hit a big level within this business that I wanted to hit, and as well as I had hit like a substantial amount in trading, and also in the crypto space and everything. So everything was lined up and stuff like that. You could say that was like the year of that I was harvesting the fruits to my labor. But then stuff came and humbled me real quick, and I was like, okay, let me actually jot this down. And then we broke through more highs and more highs, and now here we are, 2023. We just broke through some more highs last month, so let's get it.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I want to talk about when I didn't get to meet you, bro. I met you in Arizona. This was I believe at one of the boot camps that Darwin was doing, bro.
Yeah.
I remember I always remember like vividly talking to you in the backyard right by the pool. And dude, who is this guy? And like we immediately just like we're both like boom, like we were
Mhm.
on the same like wavelength. And I remember talking to you, I'm like, this guy's different, bro. Like, and you were telling me about your experience with trading and everything, and you were really tapped in with smart money. And dude, just the culture too, man. The culture that you were creating out in Dallas and everywhere that you were at, I was crazy different, man. Like super high energy community, super high energy. Just the culture that you guys were creating, results you guys were creating, and I was like, damn, this kid is gonna go far, man. Like this guy is a savage, and it's no surprise, where you're at today. So, and I know at the time when you were telling me like your trading results, I was like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. You were up there for sure, man.
Yeah. And I appreciate you as well, like I mentioned it to Mike, and I mentioned it to the team as well. Like one of one of the breakthroughs that I had was honestly like just talking with you over there, like because we were both like kind of like in the same frequency, and I was just like immediately like I was asking you questions. I remember I was asking you questions, about when it came down to systems and when it came down to trading and everything. And I was really just being a student, bro. And I came in there and took away that knowledge and literally spread it through the organization and everything, and everybody took that and ran with it.
Sheesh.
Not facts, man, facts. I think we were kind of like the black sheep in
Yeah, yeah.
in this like
Oh yeah.
in I am kind of we were
Or
doing
like
things
I think
different than
we're the last one standing too, but
yeah, you guys. No, facts, facts. But I do want to continue touching on like your just trading journey in general, man. I kind of want to
Yeah.
explore like is there any challenges that you face or like any trials and tribulations like what kind of like were the biggest things that's challenge that you faced and like how did you overcome that?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I faced a lot. I mean, I can kind of go through like maybe like year to year, like biggest challenges that I had. Because I always say like when you enter different levels, because I mean we always hear this saying like more money, more problems. But I always say more money, different problems, right? Like it's just it's just the problems are just different at that point. But because I remember the problems that I had my first year in trading, to now is not the same thing, but my first year getting into it, one of the biggest things is I was in between a lot of strategies. Y'all can type it too in the chat if y'all can relate, if y'all are probably like in that same point in your career, maybe right now, where you're in between a lot of strategies. You don't even know what to do. You're just like hopping around like a grasshopper, right? It's just like, well, what is it that I'm doing? Like, it works, you see it works for other people, but it took me a full year to really comprehend that there's not, and like this is the truth, like there's not one strategy that fits all. Like there's not one strategy that's going to fit all. There's not a one size fits all within trading, and that is something that you have to accept. That is something that I learned my first year the hard way, because I was going through so many strategies, which led me to losing a lot of money my first year. Because it's kind of like, I would compare it to fitness, right? So it's like we all work out in here, and we've all tried different workout routines, right? It's not that they don't work, because they clearly work. I mean, there's guys with six packs, like in different workout routines and different meal preps and etc. So it's the same thing in trading, but it's just something that as a trader you have to accept. Like, okay, this isn't my strategy. This doesn't work out for me. Let me go to learn from this person. Let me learn from this person, and then until you find that person or that strategy that fits you as a person in your schedule, then that's whenever everything gets going. So first year it was more of that. Second year, second year, I would say that was more of my upbringing. So that was kind of like my first bull run. So I think that the biggest thing for me is um that I messed up at that point, which many of you guys probably experienced this, or some of you are about to experience this, and this is going to be a huge lesson for you guys. Is capital preservation. There's going to be a point in your career, guys, where you're gonna smack. I know maybe some of you right now, y'all smacking stop losses, like, and you're getting irritated. You're like, damn, like when is this gonna work out for me? But trust me, you're gonna go on a roll. The same way that you're going like 7-0. I mean, 0-7. You're gonna go 7-0. Pretty soon. But the thing is that what type of person are you gonna become once you get there? Like, are you gonna switch up real quick? And are your expenses gonna go 10 times higher? Like just because you're like, okay, like, yo, I just made like 5 figures, 4 figures, and I'm balling. You gotta ground yourself. You gotta realize like who you are in the bigger aspect of things, like. So my second year, like I realized that the hard way. Like I made money, but I wasted a majority of it, and it's not really because I didn't have the guidance at that point. I had the guidance, but I just chose not to listen. So I had to learn the hard route. And then third year to fourth year, more than anything, it was more so getting my schedule down. I'm pretty sure many of you guys and girls inside this call, y'all want to be a full-time trader. Y'all want to be a full-time trader, but y'all don't really know what it means to be a full-time trader. And what it means is it's you're your own boss. And I think I did a call with Siva yesterday, 2 days ago, and I mean with Rock Coomer, my bad. And he said that same thing. He's like, yo, like a lot of people want that full-time trading, but they don't know what it actually means to be your own boss, to make your own schedule, as a trader. Like, and people think that like, and yes, like you see the videos, like people making money like at the beach somewhere else, like in Bora Bora, and stuff like that. But it's like you're comparing your chapter 8 to somebody else's chapter 20, like so one of my biggest things was becoming my own boss. Like was really like that third year breakthrough for me, where I kind of had to make my own schedule and really abide by it, so that was one thing that I had to realize, because I was like, yo, like I'm all over the place, and that's why my results are not consistent, so. And at the end of the day, like what we should chase, which is really now going on the fourth year and beyond, is what people forget is profitability. Like it's not, I mean, like, yes, like the snipes are cool, like we love it, especially as smart money traders, we want to flex, but like at the end of the day, like what's the one thing that differentiates you from 99% of people, 99% of traders? It's, are you profitable or are you not? And that was the biggest thing that, I mean, like I learned over my fourth year. So
Jeez, bro.
I love the breakdown.
A lot of gems. I felt that in my soul, bro. Like the part where you're talking about, I think year 2, when it came to just not the capital preservation, bro. Like that, those are one of the biggest lessons that sometimes you kind of had to experience it yourself. As many times people try to tell you and warn you, like you kind of have to step on your own toes for that.
Unfortunately, bro. I mean, sometimes I think it's because like we're guys and we're just more prone to like our ego and stuff like that, but we just shoot ourselves in the foot,
You had a really valid point too, where you're talking about like basically upgrading your lifestyle, like right away once you get all this money, is like what do you do with it? And I was kind of the opposite. I was kind of like, damn, like I have all this money, like I don't want to spend it. I don't want to touch it. I was being kind of like stingy with it. But at the same time, I realized that like money is energy. So money comes and goes, and I can't just keep money still. Otherwise, what happens when it's not moving? It's gonna get stagnant, right? And then, if it's just sitting there, you're just gonna end up just prone to spending it anyways. But now that last crypto bull run was a lot of lessons for sure, man. And I think with what you're saying too with schedule, bro, like that's one of the biggest things in the entrepreneurship space. Like people are not used to having their own schedule. Now we're always someone telling us what to do, when go to the bathroom, when we can eat, we can do this and that. But when you come into this space, it's like no one's there to tell you what to do. So it's like you really need to, have your time on lock. But there's a lot of chance, bro. For real. And Steve, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
No, yeah, sure, please. And I like really in the beginning how you say you start in stocks. Like, question about that: you start in shares or in options?
Shares.
Oh, that's mad interesting. Because I actually
Yeah.
started in stocks too, but like I was in
Mhm.
options, getting AMC. So feel me, but yeah. So similar story, but that's
Wall
story.
Street bets.
You know, right? Once you start investing, you just your brain gets
Yeah.
expensive. You just can't look back. Feel me?
Mhm.
But I'm really curious, bro. So one big point was not only capital preservation, but being your own boss. And a lot of people don't understand that, like you said, once you go into entrepreneurship or full-time day trading, is the
Mhm.
accountability aspect onto yourself. So although you had the mentors, although you paid willingly, what they say, the more you pay attention, right? So although you had, given financially, you had paid attention, physically, you still need to go through trials and tribulations. When was the moment for you, whether it was time or whether it was account or whether it was just stop loss or stop loss, when for you it was like an aha moment or okay, you know what? I finally get it now. This, when was that turning point?
And this is cool because this is actually like a call that I can actually, like, I guess, say it on.
Mm.
But like
You know,
the aha moment for me was after I blew my 35th account.
Oh.
It was after I blew my 35th account, and I think that's whenever I was like down to my last $2,000 to my name, which I was talking about.
Mm.
And I blew those $2,000. Like, I literally, like, so this is the thing what happened. I got fired. I was an electrician. I got fired, and then I
how
was
did you
like,
get hired away? Hold. How did you get
Oh,
fired? You try to skip through this.
yeah, that's the good part of the story. Fuck the trading part.
Hold up.
This guy was trading on his phone. He put the wrong blue and the red cable together. Zapped his
Oh
code.
nah.
no, I was honest. I honestly just got fired because I was being late, like late every fucking day, Like,
Huh.
That's
I was
bad.
I was I was asking for it. But the thing is that I'm still like, what is it? What's the word? Like, still butthurt about it because all of us as traders, like, we all um like kind of like aspire to be like one day I'm gonna go to my job and just say fuck you, like, but that didn't happen, like they flipped the middle finger on me, so um I just had to swallow my pride. um
Fair enough. Fair enough.
but yeah, like, I got fired, so like obviously cash flow was gone. And as a trader, like, the biggest thing that you can have is cash flow. And my cash flow was gone. Like, I had built a team, but I mean my team went to zero, so I had no cash flow there either. So I had no cash flow. But I had savings. And I was reviewing over the sniper course. I think this was already on the eighth time. So I was like, okay, cool. My technicals are getting better. So I was like, do I really trust myself to deposit, like, to put this $2,000 into this account? And I mean, every single mentor would tell you no. And even me right now, I'm telling you, do not do what I did. But
You sure?
like, yeah, like, I definitely burned all the boats, like the saying. And I was just like, this has to work. I had the technicals right and everything, and then but still, I still kept losing. So I kept losing, and then my account went from 2,000 down to $800. Now, at $800, that's whenever shit gets very emotional. That was like an emotional, like one of my most emotional like points in my career. And that's whenever I would text Zach. Zach didn't even know who I was at that time. I would text Zach on Instagram and stuff like that. I would text like all these like trade house educators, and I was just like, bro, like, yeah, exactly. And I would be like, what do I do? Like, and they responded, they're like, are you utilizing your trading plan? And I'm like, no, and I'm like, that's the one thing that I haven't done. But it was because, like, it was just my ego. It was really just me. It was me versus me. Like, I didn't want to journal my entries because I was just like, I was just being too lazy to write them down. But that's really what made me disciplined, like actually physically writing down my entries. And once I started doing that, I started realizing that I was like, oh, like, I'm taking quality trades. I'm no longer like looking at the quantity. I'm looking at quality now. Like, if I'm taking my time, my sweet ass time to write this down, I better like take my sweet ass time to mark this up. So I started seeing like my account compound over time from $800, and fast forward a couple months later, got that account to over 5 figures. And then yeah, I mean, pretty much like that's whenever the crypto bull run happened as well. So I was able to bag off of a lot of plays, leveraged, and yeah, I mean, it's just moon, um but like then again, it I had to also like the lesson right there was that everything really just happened so quick, like everything. And trust me, for a lot of you guys and girls watching this, like hearing this, like your time is coming, like it's gonna come. Like as long as you stick to the same game plan, it's gonna come. You just don't know when. And when it comes quick. Like it all just like feels like a blur. Like I know both of you can relate, like I know Caesar, I think you just got funded $100,000 not too long ago as well. I seen that. Huge congrats, bro. And then I seen like Kevin definitely like, bagging off like crypto, y'all all bagged out there. So yo, like we experienced highs, but yeah, like I had a lot of lessons at my lows and a lot of lessons at my highs. So yeah, but that was one of my biggest breakthroughs till this day, to be honest.
Sheesh. And I love how it really came down to like, at the end of the day, you had the belief in yourself. At the end of the day, sure, you had the financial savings, but if you didn't even follow your trading plan or you didn't even know yourself to your trading plan, then none of that mattered. Like, yep. I love how a lot of us got caught up in the beginning. When I have the FTMO account, when I have, this or that in my trading account, then I'll be, consistently profitable full-time trader. When, like, bro, you literally saw firsthand that wasn't the case with the financial savings, with the confidence, with the mentors. It came down to truly follow the plan. And then from there, just trust in your R&R and the setup, not even so much of like, just trust, yeah, this looks kind of okay. Like, no, it has to be, A to Z, my plan exactly. And, it's definitely at that point, it must be even more emotional because, okay, it's $2,000 to 800. But then even then, along the way, what a lot of us may not be or maybe forgetting is that there's FOMO involved in that. So you're seeing people, bagging off your same trades, but why are you not catching the same movement? Or, why are you in drawdown or, just that game? And, I feel like that's so powerful because you literally had to learn everything and not in one. And it's not so much your trading plan, but also, really just your trading style, your trading routine, you like who you genuinely are as a trader. And cool, you get to leverage the educators, the mentors, the group chats, but it all just boiled down to you, how are you going to trade these trades? How are you going to execute? So I think that's so powerful, because everybody now can relate to like, okay, they may get FOMO still, their accounts may not be where they want to be, but at the end of the day, they need to and truly make this game personalized to a T of who they are and how they want to be. Then they'll never get to where they want to be, because constantly playing a game of chase cat and mouse between I want to be like this person, I want to be like this person, So nah, bro, I think that's honestly like it's such a powerful story and shit. If you can do it,
that's facts.
You
just spit. I think one of the main reasons why people fail is because they quit is because they compare themselves to other people. And I think one thing I admire about you, Junior, is, bro, you're a fearless motherfucker. Like not a lot of people would risk their last 2,000, and dude, even in the face of adversity, bro, being taking that to 800, like that, having no fear is, I think, why you are where you're at today. Because most people would not do that, the things that you've been doing, bro, and like be able to handle all that fear. And I think what most people fear is it's not the markets, but it's rather like the inability to do what you need to do when you need to do it without hesitation. Without hesitation, bro. And I think that's something you have like gone down to a T, my dude. And I think that's why, like, the more fearless you become, I think the more limitless your life becomes. And I think you're just a great example of that. For real, for real.
Yeah, I think well, number one, comparison is the thief of all joy. And number two, it's because people don't look at trading like a business. And if like in a business, it's like think about every single trade. I told this to one of my students, and this was like one of his biggest breakthroughs as well. And he was like, I told him, I'm like, yo, like because he runs multiple businesses already, and I was like, bro, like trading is just like it, bro. I'm like, would you take any just any investor to come into your business, or would you invest into just any business, like just because you have the cash? He's like, no. I'm like, why? And he told me why. I'm like, bro, that's exactly the same reason why you wouldn't take just any trade. Why are you just taking any trade? Just because it gets sent out here, there, like, or just because you want to see it right now, or just because you want to make money right now, like, is that the reason that you're going to take it? No, like, that's not how an entrepreneur or a business owner thinks. Like, oh, like they think with logic. They think with logic here. They're like, does this make sense? Is this a quality setup? Is this something that is according to what I said that I was going to do? And then once you start abiding by rules, it's like what I said earlier about abiding even with your own schedule. A lot of people want to become a boss by becoming their own boss with trading. But again, that's what entails with becoming your own boss. There's a power in saying no, like, and saying no was a lot of the things that I had to do, like, to get profitable in trading. Because there's a lot of times, especially when markets get volatile, there's a lot of times when you gotta, like, just, all right, I'm gonna sit out. Like, it doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't see anything. I'm not gonna enter anything. Like, again, I'm gonna preserve my capital, and I would rather invest this capital into a better play. That's how business owners think, and that's how, as a trader, you should think as well.
Or no, literally, and I feel like that's so hard in the beginning because yes, you get FOMO, you get comparison, but it's literally like in the beginning, you don't necessarily know what a high quality setup is. You're still learning your strategy, you're still learning your edge. But then even then, when people start to understand, okay, if this is an A+ setup versus a B-, let's just say, setup, they'll still go ahead and really, well, I don't want to forget the FOMO, forget everything else, right? Yeah. I want to go ahead and at least capitalize off this potential opportunity, not recognizing that there's still, there's a higher probability of it not going in their way than them just looking at the reward itself. It's like we're so focused on the money aspect rather than the capital preservation aspect, or just, the quality patience aspect. And it's funny because I actually seen a video the other day, Swaggy, see, maybe, no, Starboy, where he was saying is like patience is just like a muscle. You have to truly, train, like at the gym, get the reps in, make it burn so it's actually working. And a lot of people, I feel like that's the number one muscle, just like your calves. No one hits. Feel me? It is like big calves all day. So nah, bro, I really think that's just kind of
leg days, man.
Man, everybody skip leg days, not just me. It's all right. But it really is like that, like it was crazy. So really quick, before we dive into the charts, we are getting to the end of this call. You have a style that is very unique, not just in terms of like trading, because everybody is all the same type of traders, but it's very unique to smart money, because we've seen you, especially in your 7-fix chat, literally swing shit for not hours, not even days, but like damn a whole month, bro. So like when it comes to that, how is it that you're not just having the patience of waiting for that, higher time frame setup into lower time frame, but then from there genuinely play out, that patient muscle? How did you build it?
Yeah, I mean and I think this was why I was saying, like, I just literally experienced the breakthrough like last month, was because I just transitioned on from learning to be a swing trader to now like learning to be a position trader. And that is one of the things that I had as a goal, like within my trading career. I was like, I want to be able to swing a trade for at least a month and not even worry about it, and fast forward, was able to hold gold and US 30 throughout, like, while I was touring all across the States and Europe, and then came back and then finally cashed out the whole position. Now, if I would have cashed out even like right now, it would have been even just crazier, but even the cash out that I did last week still ended up being like my biggest month that I had ever done, my biggest day and everything. But the patience that I had to have behind it was strategical. So nothing was, I think, I said this in my group chat. I was like, so, because I was like updating them like as I was getting closer to hit my new biggest day. And I was telling them, I'm like, it's different though, because my first biggest day, which was still like around like the $14,000 range, you know, and like I was like, in this one, I over exceeded that one. But I was like, the difference is that when I had that 14K day, I wasn't as skilled. I didn't really, I wouldn't say that I knew exactly why it is that I entered the position besides like the news event that was happening right there. It was on XRP when it shot up to $1, you know. So that was just like that was a one hit wonder, you know, when XRP went from like literally like 20 cents to like $1, you know. So like anybody without any skill could get on something like that too. You know, you just got to get yourself early on the boat, you know. But this time it was like I knew exactly why I was like entering this position to begin with. I can share my screen if y'all want.
Yeah, man.
Yo, dude.
Definitely.
Locked
Dude,
in.
that must be such an amazing feeling too.
That way, y'all, yeah, it was good, bro. So this was, well, I don't know why it's doing this. There we go. Cool. So the position that I'm talking about was this one right here. Well, no, it was actually up here. My bad. So 1978. So this was the one that I'm talking about right here. So this is pretty much what I entered out of. So as you see, I had one entry like 76 and then 78 on gold. Now I had marked this up. Now initially, when I first started this, I had actually looked at this trade on the daily. So I was like, yo, it keeps literally testing this area. So I'm like, yo, it's a good risk to reward right here, because I was how I was looking at it, as I was like, yo, if it breaks through this, then we're gonna keep shooting higher and go past the 2000s, right? But if we don't and we start mitigating this area, right, then oops. So if we don't, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna see an insane drop happen. So that's exactly what happened. But what I did is I twin traded it. So I put a standard lot, but I split the risk. So I put a 0.5 and then another 0.5. Now I let the 0.5 ride and then cashed out at almost a 1 to 12. And then after I cashed out that 1 to 12, that's whenever I left the other 0.5 riding, right? And then it kept dumping all the way to 1884. And I still didn't cash out the other 0.5, because overall what I saw on the daily was this. I saw this imbalance right here. Y'all see this daily imbalance right here? So we came to this daily imbalance already right now. So this is currently where we're at. And that's what I seen. That's the area that I had seen that it was going to come into. So I was like, yo, now that I already cashed out my 1 to 12, then I'm not even emotionally attached to the markets anymore, because now I can literally just ride my position, and I'm not even emotionally attached to the markets anymore, because worst case scenario, I get stopped at break even and already cashed out my half of my position, you know, initially to what I wanted, right? So I just kept riding that, and then another opportunity happened right here. So we came up and then hit this quarter level. How I trade gold is a combination of pretty much what y'all know with smart money, utilizing things like mitigation, accumulation, and then also I kind of mix quarter levels into the theory. That's kind of like how Mike Miles trades. And you just become lethal once you put quarters theory in gold. You know, it just respects those areas so cleanly. Like, look at that 1950 area. You held 1950, then you look at 1975 area. Look at all those positions that you like literally cashed out on. So yeah, and then the best thing about it was also having cash flow for me. So I wasn't even, again, emotionally attached to the markets, because a lot of traders are emotionally attached because they need the money right now. So because I also like upgraded my cash flow, I wasn't too reliant on this position to make a living out of it anymore, you know? So this was just like, this was different, you know? Like back then when I made my first like big day, it was like, yo, like that was like my only income. But now I was able to get into a different position. So I was actually able to look at this position with much more strategy and much more structure. And pretty much same thing with US 30, caught like right here at the whole level at 35K. So literally same play. that happened in US 30 happened within the gold market right here, as you see. Yeah, literally very similar. So was able to ride those out. Now I didn't expect it to keep continuing down. This week has been absolutely bonkers, you know. So yeah, just waiting to see what happens over here at 1800. I truthfully believe if we don't respect this, then there's nothing stopping it from coming over here. So
Bet
yeah.
over leverage on the next sell. Got it. I need my car, some of the house.
Well, I would not be looking that was for too much longer on gold, based off of like seasonalities and things like that. Like usually gold tends to be mad bullish towards the end of the year.
Yeah, like same with oil, you know, oil should be dropping soon as well, you know. So but yeah, I mean that's pretty much like really what helped me out this time, like. And yeah, it was just so much different. Like it felt so much different. And biggest thing that I told my students is I was like, my first biggest day, I splurged out and I bought a bunch of unnecessary shit, like a bunch of Gucci and all that. You know, like, and this time it was much more different. Like when I looked at the money, it was like I celebrated like now my wins and my losses the same way. I treat them the same way. You know, like, because a lot of people, the thing is I always say that you can tell how big people's goals are by how they like what they celebrate, you know. So like whenever I hit this, it was just kind of like more of a stepping stone rather than a milestone. So it wasn't even something to like for me that I even needed to celebrate. It was like literally the next day got back into square one and literally like was still like, in fact, I probably started doing even more Zooms with the team and helping them a lot more, like getting the same result, you know. So like that's the biggest thing.
Fire. Servant leader. Love it, bro, man. And that's kudos, because you know a lot of people, once they get the bread, first thing they do is smoke, you know. But you did the exact opposite. But bros, it is 11:55 over here on the East Coast, and it's money high. So real quick, I got rent due tomorrow with the Carno, and I gotta get my cat some dog food. So let's go ahead and get into the charts because I want to see what's going on, see any potential setups, see any potential movements, and all in all, whether we scalping, swinging, or position trading, I just need to know what's happening with these pairs. Junior, you already shared a little bit. Kevin, you got any setups lurking?
Bro, I have not looked at the charts since.
This nigga like this my partner? Crazy. Junior, you got any potential setups or are you just waiting for the
let me check. I actually had one lined up for oil, but this was I only have one set up for you guys. That can happen this week. The rest are more swings. But Kevin, you got something?
I got something, if anything.
You can go first. I'm gonna kind of surf through the charts real quick.
You go, I'll go second. Kevin, I guess we'll go with you third.
Okay. So really quick on US oil overall, we see the overall trend, right? So now we come down to the smaller time frames, came down to the 4 hour, seen this imbalance that intrigued me, right? So all I did, come back, zoom in a little bit, see the price action, zoom in a little bit. So now that I'm on the 15-minute and then the 5-minute, you're able to see the IPAs pretty clearly, right? So I want to see this area over here come back, and then we can possibly see some accumulation come out in this phase right here. So I do want to write this out to like 90. I do still see possibly oil coming over here. My mind's still on gold for some reason, but I would still want it to come over here to have the big overall shorts, like Kevo said. Like we still got seasonality that we have to encounter, and we are in Q4. So typically gas prices do get cheaper during this time, so you also have to account for that. But I do see an overall like intraday at least buy that we can take up over here, and we do got news events with USD happening here in the next couple hours as well. I believe for New York, right? Right, guys? I believe.
I know Friday we got NFP. I don't know about tomorrow.
Yeah, 7:30 tomorrow morning.
7:30. Who gonna be? Oh wait, y'all there for 8:30 my time. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you should be good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's USD news tomorrow and Friday. So that's what I got overall.
Fire. I'm gonna throw the rent on it. All right, real quick. I'm gonna look at indices just cause indices be bay. Let me refresh this right quick. So what I got is honestly like Nadia drop buys on NAS, but all around indices as well. So what I seen earlier today getting ready to play out was I did go for a little intraday sell that did not play out. But we are looking at all around accumulations. Let's go with number 2. Accumulation schematics for a Wyckoff, money smart money play out pretty much because, and I'll break down why. So SPX starting to play out really beautifully from an STMB, right? Higher low, higher low. Now we're starting to break out, higher low, starting to break out, right? So we can argue we are now in phase. Oh, that's crazy. Right. We did get this LPS here. We did get, I don't know what we can argue this one, but we're going to argue this is up here like an SLS kind of area. So we're looking about right here for playoff. Now, this is really cool because we are playing an all around daily area from the left here for indices. So they all massively dropped, and I'm gonna get rid of this. Y'all seen the picture. So we are dropping from a massive sell-off area, came in from, all the way up here into this daily area of accumulation that was kind of like our last point before breaking the high. Right here's the last low that went ahead and pushed higher to break that. So this was an interesting area. So it was really kind of dope to see how we are literally, and keep going, right? Yeah, much farther I gotta go. All right, cool. Right, it is kind of dope to see how we are starting to play into just an all-around accumulation effect coming off of that daily area, especially with NFP being this week. I definitely do think we can start climbing up and into, this all-around downtrend. I'm not saying we're gonna, buy from here massively on a position or swing kind of trade, but I definitely do think we can start looking to mitigate any open areas, especially on US 30 here, seeing how we never really tapped into the 1 hour. 4 hour in total is pretty unmitigated except for this wick, but at that point this could just be a potential liquidity area, right? But still aiming for this untapped area here on the 4 hour. Yeah, mitigate that daily. So really just this 4 hour area. I do think we could start to continue buying indices up into some pretty good ranges of untapped areas before potentially continuing overall sells, or now we really are in an uptrend to correct some of the stuff throughout the week. Where's my liquidity? Cool, right? And again, just to pull up this photo for you guys, right? A beautiful type 2 accumulation, right? If you know, cool. And right, really dope to see. So right, really started to stair step down, broke above, higher low, higher high, re-break, higher low, mitigation, higher high. So we're definitely back into the second LPS was here. Cool, right? Starting to get into the SOS BU range, using NFP as news to probably get up into here. Then finally NAS. Oh, buying NAS. Bro, from where? We already bought, but there is liquidity. Oh, hold on. We can argue that that's that. Yeah, so this is more of like a accumulation number 1 schematic. I'm liking this. Let's grow. I'm gonna check the chat in a second. So we are right spraying below all these lows. We did use that to break above the highs. Did come back, retest this area, so some return liquidity. Cool. And now starting to break up above. Definitely see this area as just trend line liquidity as potential target for London tonight. Maybe create a good area of mitigation for New York tonight, continue higher, or we're just going to continue buying up because I don't really see any strong areas of retracement. This got mitigated here, potentially from here, but I wouldn't. Man, I could argue already got tapped. Let me check the chat because I know she's probably yelling at me. There's a reaccum 1 hour. Yeah. That's LOL. That's so, yeah, she knew. Oh, cool. All right. So that's my time. Definitely indices buys. Just be ready for any kind of retracement. I definitely personally like US 30 the best. With SPX as a nice second. NAS, I'll just use it more for correlation and confidence. Yeah, somewhere in like in here. Oh shit. For SPX, that would be really dope. But family, my name's CDG. That's my time. Kevo, real quick. It is midnight 30 on over here on the East Coast.
Turn it up.
It's your time to shine, baby boy.
All right, bet. So I'm gonna run through these real quick. Indices, I have a very similar bias. Excuse all the markers. I was going crazy today. I was recording some content too. But I'm gonna go ahead and just delete all of this. I'll do like a more in-depth breakdown on another call on Wyckoff smart money stuff, but man, it's crazy how many opportunities are like intraday. Once you start mastering indices on lower time frames and you just keep the higher time frame bias in mind, dude, there's abundance of opportunities every day. It's crazy. But yeah, basically, I think we are starting to, have that accumulation schematic like you were just talking about right now. I really thought this was super clean. I think coming out of Asian and going into London, we had created that basically the spring, right? And this is where both schools of thoughts of smart money and Wyckoff just overlap. Why I love combining them two, because after you get a massive sell-off, right? The market usually gets exhausted, right? It gets oversold. Then you get this like curve, right? And then you have the schematic, right? You have like the preliminary supply, you have your seller's climax, automatic rally, secondary test in B, and then here is the spring. And then if you hop down on the smaller time frame, you can see like you got your spring, right? You can see how crazy like at the ST, really what the ST is liquidity inducement, inducing retail traders to get in these little double bottoms, triple bottoms, right? 1, 2, 3 taps, and then that support ain't supporting. You feel me? Support that ran through and put in the spring, and then you zoom in right here. You zoom in in the spring, what you want to see, this is beautiful. You want to see that change of character, that breaker structure, market structure, whatever you want to call it, bro. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Right. But once you see that, once the spring is put in, you get that breaker structure. And then the test, really what the test is, all the test is just mitigation of the FU. Right. So this whole last push down is basically what you want to look at. And you can even refine it to the last down candle, 5 minute. And then you can just enter off of that and then aim at these buy side liquidity. You got the Asian highs, you got this high, and then you got the swing high. So basically you could have capitalized on this buy right here, entry at the candle, stop underneath the low. And then this is how you can catch those junior swing trades too, like because overall we did take out significant swing low and massive liquidity. So I think we are due for a pretty good retracement at at least these points of interest that I think Steve, you mentioned on the hourly. So we're currently in this 1 hour order block right here. I think I want to see some more distribution form. Maybe we come into this order block up here. But yeah, basically kind of what I'm looking at from now is Asian range. We're seeing that happen right now, this consolidation. So I want to see how we react out of Asian if we take out the highs and then we play within this order block right here, get that liquidity sweep, and then the FU, the test, and then come lower and then play within this range, or basically all the way down to this range to maybe potentially go lower again. But basically that's kind of what I'm looking at. Or if we take out these lows, I want to see how we react from this range right here. Maybe we continue going higher from there, because structure wise, we're creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So it would make sense for us to pull back within here, because this is already kind of healthy. And I don't think we will come back all the way there. We could, but I want to see buys from here or sells to buy higher. That's kind of my thought process on S&P right now. US 30, the reason why I do think we have more room to go higher is because of US 30. US 30 has unmitigated order block that's higher. So this one is kind of lacking behind. So that's why I do think S&P and NAS will run higher and maybe run through those order blocks that's kind of near if US 30 is the one that's lacking. So I think this one has more room to go higher to then see if we can play and get some distribution within there. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I want to see retracement for buys or clear these and then look for sells and continue lower. And then real quick, I'll just go over the dollar. I think dollar still has more room to go higher. I think we'll continue going higher potentially the rest of the week. Oh, I'm like, I was like, what? I think the dollar still can come and reach for these highs and this imbalance right here. And we did make a little retracement, so I want to see us come higher after we just retrace to come take out these highs and then come into that imbalance. So with that in mind, now that kind of goes in confluence and alignment with what I'm thinking about for majors. I don't really trade majors too much like the last couple of weeks. I did kind of more focus on indices, but with how dollar's moving, I think we could see a retracement to potentially this order block and then go lower. Nice little distro in there, go lower. Same thing with GU. I think a lot of these majors have pretty similar, OB right here, or we take out that internal liquidity and then go play within this area. You kind of smack your bid right there. No, and then we can potentially even get some buys. We dip down here. If we dip in here, we could buy up to then potentially sell lower. Ping pong that shit. Same thing, basically AU, NU, GU, they all kind of look very similar. But yeah, that's basically like all I have for right now. When it comes to everything that I've been looking at. Yeah, I guess all I got. So I'm gonna pass it back to y'all.
Sheesh. Appreciate y'all boys, because y'all already know I seen some plays where I'm gonna definitely throw rent on it so I could pay this week and the week after. Oh, yeah, Kev, I love the setups. And you, she toxic. Don't even show me her. I'm so about that last time. Oh my god, when you sold it and I missed it, then I'm trying to resell it just to get clapped like twice. I was like, all right. I literally deleted her off my watch list like permanently now. I was like, I'm done with her. But Familia, it is midnight 10 over here on the East Coast. We appreciate every single one of y'all for saying tuned in, tapped in from beginning to end, because this call was also dope, so special, and definitely has so many gems where y'all definitely need to make sure you come back, grab the recording, even send it out to those who couldn't make it on tonight's call. Junior, my brother, yo, where can the people find you on social media, or even getting a hold of you?
Yeah, so my Instagram is I think it's my Zoom tag. So it's im.junior.muñoz. And I also wanted to do y'all a favor, so I dropped y'all the US oil trading view chart in case you want to look at it and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys for having me. Caesar, Kevin, appreciate y'all. Amazing hosts, definitely recommend these calls, but other than that, y'all have a blessed night. Let's get it.
Say that, bro. And we appreciate you making the time, making this call happen, because shit, it was fire with you. So, Kev, anything else before I go ahead and end it off?
Nah, man. Just clap easy, bro. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. I'm grateful for you, Junior, as well, man. Thank you for your time, your nuggets, the value that you poured into everybody here tonight. And dude, let's have a great rest of this week, man. Let's crush the week. NFP this Friday. Let's end the week strong. Let's go.
Jeez, he put his nuggets in some sauce. That's what it was. Family, real quick, I did go ahead and drop the YouTube link. This is where the recording will be dropped. Make sure y'all tuned in, subscribe, and send the link out. But like we said, it is midnight 12 over here on the East Coast, Beast Coast. So we appreciate every single one of y'all. We can't wait to do this call again, not only with Junior, but with all y'all who are saying dedicated, tuned in, and tapped into these calls to the sauce and the gems that we are willing to provide. So as always, Familia, stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. As always, we're your hosts. We appreciate y'all and see y'all next week. Yo, everybody, peace.